So this is my current setup here. I have them all set into like a little straight line, a little bit of curvedness to that line here, just like a little arch. And then they're all plugged into the same machine. They all have noise cancellation turned off for this test. So it's just a raw audio recording with the maximum volume set to record at, if that is even a possible feature for these. Then I'm using OBS. OBS is recording this as individual tracks. So track 1 through 4, and the fifth being the iPhone here when I will set to record it. In my settings, I have the audio set to 48 kilohertz and stereo. And then as well as the output for audio, I have them all set to the bitrate of 320 bits. I don't have a way to set this between 16 and 24 bits. I don't know if that's done in post, but I'll see when I do my first recording. The golden crow was lonely, and with time he became lonelier. The golden crow was lonely, and with time he became lonelier. The golden crow was lonely, and with time he became lonelier. The golden crow was lonely, and with time he became lonelier. The golden crow was lonely, and with time he became lonelier. So what you're hearing now is a fan blowing in the background, 5 feet away, and these are all set in sound isolation mode. I'm going to do a recording to see how well it can muffle the sound of a fan behind me. The golden crow was lonely, and with time he became lonelier. The golden crow was lonely, and with time he became lonelier. The golden crow was lonely, and with time he became lonelier. The golden crow was lonely, and with time he became lonelier. The golden crow was lonely, and with time he became lonelier. The next following clips are those with the noise floor, basically when it is completely quiet. Now, I did have to boost the audio levels on these, so it's the plus 12 decibels that you see there, simply because some of them aren't really audible through regular speakers. Okay, so let's talk about the various ones here with the battery life. I'm gonna go ahead and arrange these to highest to lowest. So this will be about the approximate or the exact kind of range here. So this is 11 hours, the KS08 11-hour battery life. This is obviously the biggest, the heaviest one here. Then we have the NEEWER KM18. This has about 6.5 hours of battery life. So we go from 11 to 6.5. This was 5.5 hours of battery life, the Maono T1 Wave Mini. And then we have this generic brand here that came in at 4.5 hours of battery life. So that's it for battery life. You've already heard the noise floor, the bass noise that you'll get at the maximum recording audio levels. And what I'll say in general is that this one here is just complete garbage. Do not buy this. The Bala, whatever it's called thing here, there's too much noise that comes in. The audio is meh, and the feature sets are okay. I like the fact that you can just press a button here and it cycles through everything. You're not having to, like with the NEEWER here, having to double click, triple click, a single click, or long press or something like that to trigger a specific feature set. With that said, though, the next one that I'll probably kick off is this one here, the NEEWER KM18. The audio is meh. The noise is meh. The noise cancellation is meh, but it is a 24-bit system, and that's going to be useful for post-processing. What I'm finding is that if I'm having my own noise removal, that this does just a much better job at managing because it is 24-bit. You know, you're having more audio levels available to you to kind of work with here, and so that's kind of the only big benefit I would say from that, from this kind of system here. That if you're someone who wants to do audio work on your recording, you can have a much better chance with the newer KM18. Now the next two here are the kind of ones that I would say should be looking at. So the Maono Wave T1 Mini, this is just overall really good. My only major kind of flaw with this is the mobile app you have to use with this. And every time I want to use this on my computer to do a recording, I have to go to the mobile app and then disable like noise cancellation or lower down the noise cancellation. It has overall it's much better fine-grained controls, but the fact that you have to use the mobile app every time and then moving it to the PC, you have to use the mobile app first to configure it. It's just a killer for me because most of the time I'm picking this up, tossing it into my phone or my computer, and I'm just going to hit record. I don't want to sit here fiddling around with stuff, figuring out if it's recording correctly, and that's kind of the bigger downhill. But overall, I think the audio quality that comes out of this is really good. I'm really happy with the overall experience with the recordings I've gotten out of this. And yeah, you don't have to apply a windshield or anything else like that. It's all kind of just here for you to pick up and go, and it is super, super tiny. Now, the one I am always going to at this point now is the KS08. And while the audio is not as good as the Maono Wave T1 Mini, it's good enough. It's good enough for all the stuff that I do, and everything is hardware based. All the interactions with this, to quickly mute, turn off noise cancellation, put on reverb if I ever needed to use that, and it has monitoring for the audio via the USB-C port. It comes with it, and these both have variants without the cradle and kit systems. So this one here you can get as low as $20. The Maono Wave T1 Mini you can get without the cradle for around $30 at this time on Amazon. And so I do like these a lot, but I will say every time I'm going to pick one up, it is the KS08 here. It is not the Maono Wave T1 Mini. But yeah, hopefully that helps. This is somewhat useful on picking out maybe between these major three here. The other one I would say absolutely just avoid because it's kind of garbage, to be honest. These all provide specific values. So for like me, if I want to pick up and go and I want to manage anything, the KS08 it's kind of just a good all-rounder. If I want more audio fidelity, obviously the 24-bit system from Neewer, the KM18 is going to be a better bet here. You just need to remember how many clicks you do to enable some of these features. And then if you just want better audio and you're okay with using the mobile app, the Maono Wave T1 Mini is going to be your best bet here.